Have you ever thought about how a discovery, like totally out of the blue, can like unearth this whole hidden history?
Oh, yeah,
You
absolutely.
know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's well, that's what we're looking at today.
Okay.
So imagine, just picture it. Okay, the Arctic, right? So it's like freezing, obviously, and there's this team of researchers,
Right.
and they come across this like totally bizarre thing.
Okay.
There's an aircraft, and get this, it's wing shaped.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's totally encased in ice, like perfectly preserved.
Mm.
And right next to it, like right there, is this frozen circular object.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing, it's red, white, and blue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like screaming Captain America, isn't it? And that's the story we're diving into today, like how this relic from World War II connects back to the origins of Captain America.
I mean, it's a pretty brilliant way to start the story, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, bridging the gap between now and like back then World War II.
Totally. It just pulls you in, right? And we're using the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki page on Captain America, the First Avenger, for all the details.
Sounds good.
Like our guide for this deep dive,
Yeah.
So we really want to get into like how Steve Rogers went from this like seriously frail guy to Captain America. Like he couldn't even get into the army at first, and then he's like, boom, super soldier, fighting HYDRA.
Right.
So yeah, we want to hit all the key moments so you really understand,
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so back to that thing in the ice right at the beginning. Like
Yep.
we were saying, it's present day, and these researchers are in the Arctic.
Right.
And they find this aircraft. It's huge, and it's got that distinct wing shape.
Yeah, definitely advanced for its time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then that circular thing next to it, I mean, come on. It's got to be the shield, right? Frozen solid.
It's so iconic. The red, white, and blue.
It instantly, even if you've never seen the movie, it's like a symbol just frozen in time.
Powerful imagery.
And then, bam, we're in 1943.
Okay.
And we meet Steve Rogers. And honestly, Frail doesn't even cut it. He's like, yeah, I know what you mean. So skinny, and he wants to fight for his country so bad. World War II is raging. But the army keeps rejecting him, like flat out.
They just wouldn't take him.
The source material is very clear about that. He had all these health issues. They just didn't think he could handle it physically.
Right.
But here's the thing, he just wouldn't give up.
He kept trying.
He was determined to find a way to help. Like, it was all he cared about.
Yeah, very determined.
Remember that scene at the Stark Expo with Bucky Barnes?
Oh, yeah.
With like all this amazing technologies around them.
Right.
But all Steve can think about is the war.
Yeah, he was focused.
He just wants to contribute, and that's what Dr. Abraham Erskine sees in him.
Erskine.
Yeah. He's the one who picked Steve for Project Rebirth. Remember that?
The Super-Soldier program.
Exactly.
Right.
It changes everything.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So Erskine, he's not like everyone else,
What do you mean?
He sees past Steve's physical limitations.
Yeah, he's looking for something else.
He sees like this goodness in him and this compassion. And that's why he chooses him for this experiment to create the super soldier.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
And Erskine says it perfectly. He's like, the serum, it amplifies everything that's inside.
Oh, yeah, I remember that quote.
Right. Like the serum amplifies everything that is inside. So good becomes great, bad becomes worse. This is why you were chosen. Because the strong man who has known power all his life may lose respect for that power, but a weak man knows the value of strength and knows compassion.
Powerful stuff.
It's deep, right? It's not just about being strong, it's about character.
Exactly. He knew Steve had the right kind of character.
And that was way more important to him than, like, muscles.
Yeah, Erskine understood that real strength isn't just physical.
So after Steve's chosen, they send him to Camp Lehigh for training.
Right.
And Colonel Phillips is not impressed at first. He's like, seriously, this skinny kid.
I bet he was skeptical.
Oh, yeah, totally. But then there's this moment where Steve does something incredibly brave. Yeah, it's not like a show of strength or anything, but it's like pure courage. And that's when Phillips starts to see what Erskine saw.
It just clicked.
Right. It's like, oh, okay, this kid's got something special.
Yeah, he proved himself.
And then right before the transformation, Erskine tells Steve about Johann Schmidt.
Schmidt?
Yeah. This is our first look at the bad guy, right? The villain.
Okay.
So apparently Schmidt had this earlier version of the super soldier procedure, but it went wrong.
Oh, so it wasn't the same formula.
Right. And Erskine really stresses how bad it was for Schmidt. Like, it messed him up.
Interesting.
He's basically saying the serum amplified all of Schmidt's negative qualities,
Like his ambition.
Yeah, and his belief that he's better than everyone else. It made him power-hungry and twisted. It's like the total opposite of Steve.
I see. So it shows how important character is.
Exactly. It sets up this whole contrast between good and bad,
Yeah, makes sense.
So then we get to the transformation scene. It's in Erskine's lab right in New York City, and it's pretty dramatic. They inject him with the serum, and then there's these Vita rays, and bam, Steve Rogers is gone.
And Captain America's born.
Right. This source material really emphasizes how dramatic it is. Like, he comes out of this chamber totally ripped and, like, way taller.
Yeah, he's like a whole new person.
But then right after that, it's like, boom, tragedy strikes.
What happened?
This HYDRA agent, Heinz Kruger, he sneaks in and shoots Erskine right there in the lab.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's chaos. And in all the confusion, they lose the last vial of the serum.
So they can't make any more super soldiers.
Not yet. And to make things worse, Kruger, he takes a cyanide pill before they can question him.
Ugh, that's frustrating.
So it's a huge setback for the SSR.
They lost the scientist in the formula.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now they've got Steve, but they don't know what to do with him.
Right.
And that's when Senator Brandt comes in.
Who's that?
He's this politician who has this idea to turn Steve into a symbol,
What do you mean?
like a propaganda tool. They create this whole Captain America persona and send him on tour to sell war bonds.
So not actually fighting.
Yeah, they dress him up, have him do these shows, even put him in comic books.
Wow.
It's all about boosting morale back home,
Interesting.
But Steve, he hates it.
Really?
Yeah, he feels like a phony, a man. He wants to be on the front lines fighting, not singing and dancing for crowds.
He wanted to make a real difference.
Exactly. And while all this is happening, you've got Johann Schmidt over in Europe.
The guy from before.
Yeah, he's gone full villain now. He calls himself the Red Skull.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he's not just some Nazi commander. He's got this whole other agenda.
What's that?
He wants power, like world domination.
Ambitious.
And he's got this secret weapon, the Tesseract.
The Tesseract.
Yeah, it's this cube thing that has, like, unlimited energy.
Wow, sounds powerful.
It's crazy powerful. And he's working with this scientist, Arnim Zola, to figure out how to use it.
To make weapons, I bet.
Exactly. They're building all this advanced technology that's way ahead of its time.
Scary.
And here's the thing. Schmidt decides that HYDRA is bigger than the Nazis.
What?
Yeah, he basically says, screw Hitler. HYDRA's got its own plan.
He went rogue.
Totally.
Yeah.
He kills off a bunch of Nazi leaders and declares HYDRA independent.
So now there's a whole other enemy.
Right. It's not just Germany anymore. It's HYDRA, and they are a serious threat.
So what's Steve doing about this?
Well, remember, he's stuck doing those shows.
Right, the USO stuff.
But then he hears that Bucky's unit has been captured by HYDRA.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and Colonel Phillips is like, forget it, they're gone. But Steve refuses to believe it.
He's not giving up on Bucky.
No way. He's going after him even though Phillips tells him not to.
He's defying orders.
Yep, and he gets Peggy Carter and Howard Stark to help him.
So they go behind enemy lines.
It's a whole secret mission. They break into this HYDRA factory.
Wow.
And it's crazy dangerous. But Steve manages to free a bunch of prisoners.
And Bucky.
He finds them too. They were doing experiments on him. But they can't save everyone. Schmidt shows up, and he and Steve have this big showdown.
What happened?
That's when Schmidt reveals his true face. It's like this red skull, totally creepy.
I bet that was a shock.
It's messed up. But anyway, Schmidt and Zola, they get away, and the factory blows up.
Did Steve and Bucky make it out?
Yeah, just barely. It's a close call, but they escape with the prisoners.
Wow, what a mission.
Right. And after that, Colonel Phillips totally changes his tune about Steve.
He finally gets it.
Yeah, he sees that Steve is the real deal, not just a mascot. And that's when they form the Howling Commandos.
The Howling Commandos.
Yeah, it's Steve's elite squad.
Yeah.
It's Bucky, Dum Dum Dugan, Gabe Jones, Jim Rita, James Montgomery Falsworth, and Jacques Dernier.
That's quite a team.
They're the best of the best. And Howard Stark hooks them up with some serious gear.
Like what?
Well, most importantly, Steve gets his shield.
A vibranium one.
The one and only, unbreakable, And he gets his Captain America uniform.
Cool.
Yeah. So for the next 2 years, they're on a roll, taking down HYDRA operations left and right.
They were like a thorn in Schmidt's side.
Totally. They're disrupting everything. But then in 1945, things go bad.
What happened?
They're on this mission to capture Arnim Zola.
The scientist.
Right. He's on this train, and there's this huge fight.
Uh-oh.
And Bucky, he falls off the train. It looks like he's gone.
He died.
It seems that way, yeah. It hits Steve hard.
They were best friends.
More like brothers. And it's Peggy who helps him through it. She tells him to use his grief to fuel his fight,
That's tough. but good advice.
And luckily they got some good intel from Zola before he got away. They know where HYDRA's main base is now.
So they're going after Schmidt.
This is it, the final showdown. Steve's got to stop Schmidt from launching these horrific weapons.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, they could wipe out cities. So Steve infiltrates HYDRA's giant bomber. It's called the Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie.
Yeah, and it's like this flying fortress packed with weapons powered by the Tesseract.
Dangerous stuff.
And he finds Schmidt and they fight. And during the fight, the Tesseract gets damaged.
Damaged how?
I don't know exactly, but it like overloads or something and opens up this crazy wormhole.
A wormhole.
Yeah, like a portal to somewhere else. And it sucks Schmidt right in.
Just like that.
Gone. And the Tesseract, it falls into the ocean.
Wow, so Schmidt's gone and the Tesseract is lost.
And Steve's on this bomber that's about to attack the U.S.
Oh, no.
He can't disarm the bomb, so he makes a decision. He's going to crash the plane in the Arctic.
He's sacrificed himself.
Yeah, he knew it was the only way to stop the bombs.
No.
He says goodbye to Seki. Peggy promises to take her dancing.
Oh, that's sad.
It's heartbreaking. And then we cut back to the present.
Yeah.
Howard Stark, he finds the Tesseract at the bottom of the ocean.
He recovered it.
Yeah, but he never finds Steve or the plane, so everyone assumes Steve's dead.
Right, lost in the Arctic.
But then we see Steve. He wakes up in this hospital room.
He's alive.
Yeah. But it's weird, the room, it's like straight out of the 1940s. It's all old-timey, and he's confused, and then he sees out the window. He's in Times Square.
No.
I know, it's crazy. He's in the future, and Nick Fury shows up and tells him everything.
But he's been frozen for like 70 years.
Yeah. And Steve's response is just perfect. He says, I had a date.
Oh, man, that's rough.
He missed out on his whole life, you know?
Yeah, poor guy.
But Fury, he's not just there to tell him the bad news.
He's got a mission for him.
Yeah, it sounds like the world needs Captain America again.
Wow, what a story.
Right. From this skinny kid with asthma to a super soldier who sacrifices everything to save the world.
And we've got the Tesseract out there somewhere.
Who knows what kind of trouble that'll cause?
It's like a whole other can of worms.
Totally. And then there's the Red Skull. I mean, he got sucked into a wormhole. Who knows where he ended up?
Right. Is he even dead?
Good question. So much to think about, right? But before we go, I want to go back to what Erskine said about the serum.
Oh, yeah, about amplifying what's inside.
It's like the key to the whole story.
Right.
It's why Steve became a hero and Schmidt became a monster. It's like a cautionary tale, you know? What if someone with the wrong intentions got their hands on that serum?
That's a scary thought.
It makes you think about the kind of people we need in positions of power, doesn't it? People with compassion and integrity, people like Steve Rogers.
Yeah, people we can trust with that kind of power.
Exactly. And that's something worth thinking about, isn't it?
It really is.
All right, that's it for our deep dive into the origin of Captain America. Hope you enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Until next time.